A fresh layer of snow blanketed our quaint New England town after a heavy snowfall throughout the night. As I stood by the chilly window, cradling a warm cup of tea, I observed the soft January sunlight gradually illuminating the streets outside. The stillness beyond was soothing, nearly reverent, prompting reflections on how much more tranquil certain aspects of my life have become since Paul departed. My former husband, Paul, left, leaving my son Sam and me to begin anew. At the tender age of 4, Sam experienced the departure of Paul. It was a challenge, yet Sam and I have come to a conclusion. He turned into my steadfast support and my greatest source of happiness. At the age of 21, Sam was beginning to discover who he truly was. I found myself grappling with the challenge of releasing my grand aspirations as they seemed overwhelmingly vast for this small town. The sound of footsteps descending the stairs abruptly roused me from my slumber. They exuded a sense of steadiness and confidence, reminiscent of Sam's demeanor in recent times. He sauntered into the kitchen, clad in his trousers and knitted jacket, with his camera casually slung over his shoulder. His face was adorned with the largest, most inviting smile. On a brisk January morning, he approached me with a cheerful, "Good morning, Mom," and leaned in for a kiss. It served as a subtle reminder of the transformation he had undergone since the return of his beard. I responded, "Good morning, darling. What brings you up so early?" He replied, "I'm off to the lake. After it snows, the light is incredible, and I want to capture a photo before everything shifts." A wave of pride washed over me, and I nodded in agreement. Sam possesses a unique ability to discover beauty in the subtle details that often go unnoticed, making his photographs truly exceptional. It seemed as though he was weaving narratives instead of merely presenting scenes. "Do you need someone to talk to?" I found myself asking somewhat unexpectedly. Usually I allow him to immerse himself in his art, but today I sensed a desire to be part of his creative process. His eyes sparkled with joy. "Really? Will you come with me?" I smiled and responded, "Of course. It's been ages since I've seen the lake in winter." We wrapped ourselves in cozy layers to shield against the chill and set out. As we strolled along the snow-blanketed streets, the brisk air bit at our skin, even though the lake was not. The stroll outside truly enveloped me in a sense of tranquility and contemplation. Upon arriving at the shore, the scenery was nothing short of breathtaking. The pale sky and bare trees surrounding the lake resembled a mirror. Frost clung to the trees, transforming them into shimmering jewels beneath the soft glow of the early morning sun. Sam swiftly arranged his camera, carefully aligning it for the ideal shot. I became entranced by the depth of his stare and the fluidity with which his hands danced, filled with emotion and expertise. In those moments, I couldn't help but notice traces of Paul, not the person who abandoned us, but the dreamer I once adored. "Hey, Mom!" Sam's voice jolted me back to the present. He gazed at me with a subtle smile, his head tilted ever so slightly. "You all right?" I flicked some snow off my coat. "I was just lost in thought. You know, every time I see you working, it brings back memories of your dad." I was taken aback by how he didn't appear bothered at all when Paul was brought up. He rarely mentions him yet today. His demeanor revealed a hint of tenderness. "Do you miss him?" he inquired, a subtle nod accompanying his words. For a brief moment I reflected. Not always, as you might anticipate, I long for the hate. We were meant to be a family full of potential, yet I'm at peace with how everything unfolded. It allowed me more moments with you. When Sam met my gaze, words weren't necessary for a while. He approached, placed his camera aside, and enveloped me in a comforting embrace. His warmth seeped through my clothes, and for the first time in what felt like forever, I truly felt safe. He said softly, "I'm glad it's just us. I wouldn't change a thing." I felt tears welling up, but I quickly blinked them away and whispered, "Me neither." As the sun rose, we lingered by the lake until the snow and frost faded. Sam was on a roll, reeling in everything. There was a sparkle on the ice, a soft ripple in the water where it kissed the shore, and delicate fox tracks meandering through the trees. Observing him, it struck me. Sam had evolved beyond just being my child. He was maturing and crafting his own aspirations. Yet I understood that our connection would remain unbreakable. Regardless of where his ambitions took him, I gazed at. I strolled home, a smile on my face, engaged in conversation with Sam. "Hey," he remarked, "promise me something. Everything always seek the beauty that surrounds you." "We could use more of that," he said with a smile, his breath visible in the chilly air. "I promise, Mom. I won't forget." As we trudged through the snow, a new sensation washed over me. It was as if spring had quietly arrived, filling me with warmth. "You know," Sam remarked, flashing a mischievous grin and glancing in my direction. "Now I understand why my photos haven't come out quite right. Recently, I've found myself in the spotlight." Sam's voice took on a serious tone as he joined the conversation. Intrigued, I leaned closer to hear his sudden remark. He paused, raised the camera, and pointed it directly at me. "The best subject has always been right in front of me," he said with a playful smile. I chuckled, brushing off the snow that had settled on my coat. "Are you referring to me?" "Not exactly, Sam. I wouldn't consider myself what you'd call attractive." He remained silent for a moment, capturing a photo before I could elaborate further. "Say whatever you want," he finally said to her. "You've got it all wrong. You're such a beautiful person. It's not about having flawless skin. It's about connecting with someone on a deeper level. What about you? You're amazing." It wasn't the cold air that made my cheeks flush. It was his words. "You know you're good with words, right?" I replied, trying to keep my cool. He just smiled playfully and teased that it was part of the charm. The joking continued as we strolled back to his place, and he kept. We were just having fun, snapping photos and sharing inside jokes. When we finally arrived at the house, I was so thrilled it felt like my face was smiling too much, but in the best way. As we walked in, the sound of his boots resonated on the wooden floor. "I can't wait to show you these," he said. I playfully removed my scarf and hung it by the door. "You'll love them, but only if I get to approve the changes first." As he made his way upstairs, he gave me this amusing look. "Don't be surprised if things turn out even better than you expect," he added. I found myself chuckling while tidying up. The energy from our conversation lingered in the atmosphere, as expected. Sam didn't reappear for the remainder of the day. He was lost in his creative world. Occasionally I could hear soft melodies and the click of his camera from his room. He was completely absorbed in his project. The following morning, the aroma of fresh coffee coaxed me out of bed. I stretched leisurely, reluctant to abandon the snug warmth of my blankets for the cold air. It was a brisk January morning. Just as I contemplated lingering in bed a little longer, the door creaked open. Sam stood there, balancing a tray with a steaming mug of coffee, a muffin adorned with a candle, and a small pot of flowers. He said, "Happy birthday, Mum," in the gentlest, most affectionate tone. "Sam." I breathed out, sitting up and fighting back tears as my heart swelled. "You didn't have to do this." He placed the tray on my lap and responded, "Of course I did. You absolutely deserve it." Then he settled onto the edge of the bed. I lounged on the bed, savoring my coffee and dimming the lights. It created a special ambiance for the day. From the very beginning, time slipped away, filled with smiles and serene moments. By evening, the house returned to its familiar tranquility. The soothing atmosphere drew me to the couch with a captivating book. I was so absorbed that I didn't see Sam descend the stairs until it was almost midnight. He entered the living room, a sleek black box in hand. His expression was gazed at him, taken aback. He was radiating joy as he exclaimed, "Happy birthday, Mom. I figured you might enjoy these." I laughed and said, "Wow, Sam, this is surprising." He simply chuckled and urged me to give them a go. "You really need to see how great they look." I gazed at it. "Sam." I began, though, my voice quivered. "This is stunning." He cut me off with a broad smile. There's more. Slip it on and make your way upstairs. Trust me. I felt uncertain about his request, causing me to pause, yet his enthusiasm was contagious. Eventually I mustered the courage to agree and carried the box to my room. Dressed in my robe and underwear, I ascended the stairs, a mix of nerves and excitement coursing through me. As I opened his door, words eluded me. The room was bathed in a gentle red light from the lamps. Fabric draped over them, creating an inviting atmosphere. A smooth metal pole stood prominently in the center of the room. In the corner, a machine exhaled delicate wisps of smoke. A stylish black leather cat mask rested on a nearby table. He glanced at me, camera in hand, and remarked warmly, "You look awesome." Then, with a friendly gesture, he handed me the mask and encouraged, "Put this on. It'll make the pictures look even better." I wasn't entirely convinced, but his smile put me at ease. "Just for fun," he said in a gentle tone. "You have consistently supported those around you. This is for you." I inhaled deeply, donned the mask, and entered the spotlight. The atmosphere buzzed with lively music, and the beat had everyone moving. Initially I felt somewhat awkward, but Sam's kind words and laughter truly brightened my mood. He led me with care and captured moments that were joyful and uplifting. Then he paused, lowering the camera for a moment, and said, "You've got this. You are truly remarkable, and I doubt you fully comprehend it." To be honest, that really took me by surprise. As I looked into his eyes beneath the crimson light, I felt a change in the air. This was beyond mere parties and snapshots. It was about a deeper connection. I allowed myself to trust him more as the evening unfolded, setting aside my apprehensions to truly embrace the atmosphere. The red hue and the gentle haze from the smoke machine created an enchanting ambiance, while the rhythm of the music resonated throughout the space. A wave of joy washed over me, and I unearthed fragments of myself that had long been dormant. Then Sam paused, gazed at me with sincerity, and said, "I think you're amazing." His voice carried a tone of respect. "You've got your confidence hidden somewhere." I shook my head and laughed. "Hidden? Come on, Sam, this isn't just another Thursday night for me." Sam grinned and replied, "You've got talent, and I sense you're enjoying this more than you admit." I chuckled at his jest. He wasn't entirely wrong. Being in the spotlight felt both freeing and vulnerable simultaneously. Then a memory surged in my mind, something I had completely overlooked. For years I've been occupied with work and various responsibilities. "Do you find that impressive?" I playfully crossed my arms and shot her a mischievous glance. "Have you not witnessed anything so far?" Sam lifted an eyebrow, unmistakably curious. "What other secrets do you have?" I responded, shedding my satin robe to unveil my delicate lingerie. "I used to attend heel classes," I remarked. "I can still recall a few moves." His eyes widened in astonishment as he responded. He took a significant step back, camera in hand, and declared, "Now you gotta show me." "All right then," I responded, adopting a mock-serious tone. "Don't you dare laugh." An electric thrill filled the room as I approached the silver pole. It had been a long time since I engaged in anything like this, yet my muscles seemed to recall every movement. I slipped off my shoes, grasped the pole, and ascended effortlessly before executing a graceful spin. The ease with which it came back to me was a testament to the countless hours spent honing my skills. Sam stood there completely still. For a moment, I completely lost track of his camera as I slipped into some moves. I hadn't thought I could still pull off. I executed a cartwheel, a fireman's spin, and even dared to climb the pole. As I descended, the soft red light danced off the silver surface, and I felt both smooth and confident. When I finally landed, I turned to see Sam clapping enthusiastically with a huge grin. He approached me and exclaimed, "Mom, that was awesome." How was I unaware that you could do that? I simply shrugged, panting, yet filled with exhilaration. That was a long time back. I enjoyed attending school long before you came into the world. I never imagined I'd still be here, Honestly, I'm truly impressed, he replied, his tone gentle and filled with pride. Wow, you look incredibly beautiful. I was surprised by the sincerity in his voice. He leaned closer and kissed my cheek, leaving a lingering warmth of his affection. You genuinely look fantastic tonight, he remarked, stepping back to allow me some space. I truly mean it. For a moment, I was speechless. The ambiance felt I was truly touched by his smile and the sincerity in his words. I replied, thanks, adjusting my robe around my shoulders. I genuinely appreciated it. Sam, I realized how silent the house had become as the music transitioned to a softer tone. Everything beyond his room seemed far away and insignificant. It felt as if we were the only two people in existence, and our bond was so profound that words fell short. Sam beamed as he picked up his camera once more and lifted it. Can I get one last shot? Nothing out of the ordinary, just you and the pole. I was prepared. I stood by the fence, his encouraging gaze making it hard to refuse. Leaning against the pole, I let the robe cascade over my shoulders. Our eyes met through the camera lens, and when the flash ignited, it immortalized a moment I'll forever cherish. He lowered the camera and remarked, perfect, you're really good at this. I chuckled and shook my head, responding, in my opinion, you're an incredible photographer. He moved closer, his expression softening as he said, maybe, but I think you're putting too much pressure on me. Dear Mum, you've always been unique. I'm just lucky enough to see it. His words completely surprised me. Although we were merely joking, this moment felt genuine, as if we had uncovered something meaningful in our relationship that had long been hidden. As the evening came to a close, a soothing calm enveloped us. After Sam finally set aside his camera, I was still recovering from my spontaneous moment, and we shared a laugh over a late-night cup of tea in the kitchen. It felt so instinctive and easy, just like the entire night had been brought us closer. As I finally settled into bed, my mind was a whirlwind of emotions, sadness, happiness, pride, and an indescribable feeling. Sam had always been my rock, guiding me through the darkest moments. Yet tonight he offered me something I hadn't recognized as absent. A renewed opportunity to embrace life. From tomorrow onward, everything would be okay. But as I began to drift off, I couldn't escape the memories of the red light, the laughter and the deep connection between a mother and her son, the house. The morning felt unusually quiet. As the minutes ticked by, my thoughts drifted to Sam, who still hadn't made an appearance. Normally, he'd be in the kitchen brewing coffee or fiddling with his camera. By this hour instead, an unsettling silence hung in the air. Curiosity nudged me to check on him. Approaching his door, I hesitated to listen. A soft whisper and faint movements reached my ears, hinting at his presence. I knocked lightly, not pausing for a reply. There was someone inside. Sam. Upon opening the door, I raised my voice. I froze in place when I witnessed the unfolding scene. He lay on his bed, legs spread apart, camera grasped firmly in his hand. The screen emitted a subtle light, and I immediately recognized what those images were. Images from last night, the ones featuring me in that satin robe, surrounded by the gentle smoke and the crimson glow. Upon hearing my voice, he swiftly pivoted and switched off the camera. His face flushed crimson, and he shot up quickly, making an effort to avoid my gaze. "Mom," he stammered. "I didn't hear you knock." I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. Leaning in close to Sam, I whispered gently, "It's all right to help him settle. What made you switch it off so quickly? I can see what's going on." He gazed at the camera, his grip firm. "I didn't think you'd want to see those," he murmured, his voice barely rising above a whisper. "It's all good, really," I replied softly, settling down next to him on the edge of the bed. "That picture was taken by you." "Sam, I have faith in you. I want to see what you have." He paused for a moment, gripping the camera so tightly that his fingers turned pale. His face remained flushed, and the tips of his ears glowed. After a short pause, he sighed, nodded, and hesitantly passed me the camera. He looked down and murmured, I didn't mean to make this awkward. I just wanted to ensure I had done everything correctly. I grabbed the camera, powered it on, and began to sift through the photos. It possessed a unique beauty. He seized a fleeting instant that felt entirely foreign to me. It was an unusual blend of beauty, strength and tenderness that seemed almost ethereal. In some of the pictures, I was laughing so hard that my head was thrown back, truly filled with joy. In some instances, I appeared more serious and composed, with the red light accentuating every minute detail. "Sam," I uttered, my voice quivering as I gazed at the photographs. "These are awesome." He finally looked up, his expression revealing a blend of anxiety and hope. "Do you genuinely believe that?" Our gazes met. He nodded and remarked, "Sam, you possess such talent. It's remarkable how you perceive the world and how you perceive me. I can't even express it." He shyly bit his lip, allowing his shoulders to relax slightly. In a gentle tone, he continued, "I just wanted you to see how truly amazing you are. I appreciate everything you've done for me, Mom." I placed the camera aside and softly grasped his hand. "Sam, you've already given me so much. What additional knowledge do you possess?" We lingered in quietude for a brief moment, absorbing the weight of our feelings. It was a comfortable silence, despite the absence of words between us. His cheeks remained flushed as I gazed at him, yet his expression revealed a newfound openness, reflecting the extent of his growth. I teasingly remarked, "You're blushing," to ease the atmosphere. He let out a quiet laugh and tousled his hair with his fingers. "I never imagined you'd spot me admiring them," he said with a self-satisfied smile. As I returned the camera to him, I offered a comforting smile and said, "There's no need to feel embarrassed. Your creation is truly beautiful, and I feel a deep sense of pride for you." He brushed my fingers gently as he took the camera, cradling it against his chest. With a soft voice, he said, "Thanks, Mum. It meant a lot to me." Just like the previous night, I leaned in and kissed his cheek. His skin radiated warmth, and his smile was filled with gratitude. I told Sam, "You have an incredible talent. Don't let anyone sway your belief in it." As I exited his room, I closed the door with care. Reflecting on that moment, an overwhelming surge of joy and love embraced me.